Hello friends, welcome back to Home Sense with Nell. I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted to learn how to use a cookie press? Well, stick around because today I'll show you how to do it. I'm participating in the third and final installment of Sips, Eats, and Sweets collaboration hosted by Elle of Easy Living with Elle, Cindy of Create with Cindy, and Sonya of Multifacceted Me. This is a three-part collab that the wonderful hosts have hosted for us to have a chance to showcase some of our favorite recipes of the summer. After you finish watching my video, please check the playlist in the description box for all the other creators' great videos. Thanks, see you later. If you're into home decor, product hauls, life hacks, and gardening, please consider subscribing to Home Sense with Nell. Now let's get into the recipe. First, I preheat my oven to 350 degrees, and I line up a cookie sheet with parchment paper. I really like to use parchment paper whenever I can because it makes cleanup so much easier. We first started making SPRITZ cookies for a cookie swap at work. I needed something quick and delicious and nice looking basically to take to work because I wanted my cookies to stand up to any other competition, if you know what I mean. So we've been making them for a few years and we really seem to enjoy them. The recipe is very simple. First, you're going to need flour. You're going to need sugar, almond extract, eggs, butter, Notice how the butter and sugar together have gotten nice and creamy and light. Here's what your creamed butter and sugar should look like together. Next, we're going to add 2 egg yolks. So I separated the white from the yolk. And we're going to add half teaspoon of almond extract. You can also use vanilla extract, or you can use a combination of both, or even coconut. It's up to you. And I'm going to mix that on medium for just about a minute. After that, I mix 2 1/4 cups flour with half a teaspoon of baking powder. I like to mix that up a little bit before I add it to my creamed mixture, just to make sure no one gets a mouthful of baking powder. Now I try my best to add the dry ingredients in thirds so that it can be incorporated And here's the last third going in. Now I noticed the texture was a little dry, so I added about 2 tablespoons of milk. I find that sometimes I have to do this. I don't really know why. Maybe it has to do with humidity in the air. Now this is what your finished dough should look like. It's soft and it's pliable, but it's not runny. You want to be able to form this into a log shape, as you're going to see later. Now I like to divide my dough into thirds so that I can color each section separately. The first section my kids wanted to do a blue, kind of to mimic water. So I added 1 drop of the gel food coloring and mixed. I didn't want to mix it too well because I kind of wanted to have somewhat of a marbled effect, so I just mixed it for a minute or 2. In the next bowl, I added 1 drop of yellow so that we can have sun-colored cookies. And for that one, because I didn't want a marbled appearance, I decided to go ahead and use my hands, so it'll be thoroughly mixed. And finally, to the last third of dough, I added a little bit of purple. I ended up using 2 drops of purple to get a more brilliant color. With 1 drop, it was just kind of grayish. And I used my hands again to get it thoroughly incorporated. Now, this is your cookie press. Most cookie presses are just like this one. They consist of the ring, the trigger, the barrel, and the discs. So first you want to select your disc depending on what shape you like, and you place your disc inside the ring. You screw your ring onto the barrel. Just like that. And then you take a section or a portion of your cookie dough and you form it into a log shape and you place it in the barrel. You can also just take balls of the dough and push it down into the barrel. Either way works fine. Next, you're going to screw your barrel onto your trigger, and there you go. Now notice the threads on the rod of my cookie press. Right now they're facing to the right, but in order for my plunger to move, those rods need to be facing down. Once you turn the knob so that the threads face down, you can push the trigger and your cookie dough will be pressed out of the barrel. And that's how it works. And you simply place your cookie press onto your pan and just press and lift. Press and lift. And you'll get these perfectly shaped cookies with very, very little effort. Sometimes your cookies might not come out as pretty as you hope. If that happens, just take them off the cookie sheet, put them in a bowl, and then just refill your press with them, and they'll be fine. Now's the time to add any decorations that you like, and go ahead and place them in the oven for about 8 minutes. I like to take mine out when the bottoms are just golden brown like this. And if you want to add anything like these pearls, I would suggest put them on during the last 3 minutes of cooking so they'll set into the cookies. If not, they probably will roll off when you try to pick one up and eat them. Now I'm all done with my purple dough, pretty much. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to refill it. So you just turn your knob up so that the threads are facing up. You pull it back, and then you can go ahead and refill the barrel with whichever color cookie dough you like. But in either case, I didn't use the parchment paper for the second batch. And the third batch, also I decided not to use it because the cookies weren't sticking. And my daughter discovered that if you push the trigger 2 times, you get bigger, fluffier cookies. So from now on, I think that's what I'm going to do because I really like the size of these cookies. And since Spritz cookies don't spread much, you can basically fill your whole pan with cookies. Don't worry too much about spacing. Now, did you guys notice the multicolored cookies on the tray? Those are all the scraps, and I just threw them into the barrel, and that's what came out. So I love that about Spritz cookies. They're so versatile, they're quick, they're easy, and they look great. Give them a try, and if you do, please come back to the channel and let me know how you and your family like them. Thanks for visiting HomeSense with Nell. See you next time.